I'm going to do a testing 1, 2. Can you hear it? We good, money? Yeah? All right. Yeah, how y'all doing today? I'm gonna drink my coffee. Still got 15 minutes. We gonna warm up a little bit. How y'all doing today? You doing good? All right, so I was thinking about this when I was putting the presentation together. I'm like, are they students or workers? Like, what perspective should I come from? And then I thought about it. I was like, it's very simpler when you talk about time management. But before we do all that, so I didn't introduce myself. Can I drink my coffee while I talk? I still haven't woken up yet. It's Monday. I had my 30th year high school reunion this past weekend. Oh, wow, right? You like, what, 30 years? Yes, I'm almost 50. Can you believe it? Man, listen, been working with kids, right? Right? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, hey, man. Yeah, I'm old enough to be your daddy. But I've been working with young people since I graduated. Well, actually, before I graduated college. So I started in a summer program on the east side of Buffalo, actually on Monroe Street. It's an apartment building now. In 1996, that was my first opportunity to work with young people. And I loved it. I loved it. So I graduated undergrad 1997 with a degree in English, in secondary education, and a minor in coaching that I never used except for Little League. Started teaching in 1997. I taught in Rochester until 2004, and then I commuted back and forth. So first I commuted back and forth from Buffalo to Rochester teaching. Crazy. I don't even know how I could have done that today with gas, $5 a gallon? There's no way. But then I taught in Buffalo for a bunch of years. Ended up going into the not-for-profit sector at the Urban League, and then took a position, was offered a position at Say Yes Buffalo at Lafayette High School. Any graduates from Lafayette High School or going to Lafayette? Oh, you're a graduate from Lafayette, thank you. And that's when I started at Say Yes, and I worked my way up at Say Yes to community school zone leader, where we did a lot of work with community schools in Buffalo, public schools, Saturday academies. Anybody ever been to a Saturday academy? Okay, all right. Was it fun? Did you have fun?
I had to work it. So.
You had to work it? So it was definitely fun then.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, I like that. My man said he went. Did you have fun? You enjoy it? So what I need to know from you, let me finish telling my little story, because I really don't like talking to people if I don't tell you who I am first. It's just kind of whack and dry if you don't really know me. So worked at the community schools for Say Yes, then took a position at Canisius College, director of school and community partnerships, essentially working in education and making sure that teachers or soon-to-be teachers in our teacher preparation program went out to schools, did their practicum, learned how to be a teacher. Then I took another position at New York State Network for Youth Success, regional office director over 9 counties in Western New York, and that's an out-of-school advocacy program. So we do professional development for agencies and programs that do out-of-school time stuff, extended learning. We also do capacity building to help them build up their positions. I still do work with Canisius as the director for the Center for Urban Education. And I'll share this with you guys. I'm this close to getting a contract signed with one of the largest school districts in Western New York for educational consulting and cultural development in a school. Yeah, word. Yes. I'm about to quit all these jobs. No, I'm just playing. That's the goal. But that's the goal. What school did I go to? The 5-3 Public School 53, Buffalo, New York. Rest in peace, Nan Woods. Huh? Who? Nah, 53. It's on Rare. It's in the hood, Cold Spring. I went there from kindergarten through 8th grade. Wonderful experience. It was actually the first community school in Buffalo. So, yeah, great school. Huh? School 53, yep. You go to school 53 right now? How you get in here, bro? You used to go to 53. Hey, listen, we got to kick it. It's a bond with that school, man. It's a bond. People don't know unless you went there. But then I went to Hutch Tech, which was interesting because School 53, you heard me shout out Nan Woods. She was the black principal at 53. We had black teachers. It was majority black school. 99.9% of the students were African American. We had one young lady who was white in our 8th grade class, but she got major love too. She a 5'3"er. I don't know where she at now. Boyfriend, she had a boyfriend, she had all that. She was cool. Then I went to Hutch Tech. So I was the only male from 53 in my graduating class to go to Hutch Tech. And then I went with, there were 4 other young ladies that went to Hutch Tech with me, thank goodness. Nobody from my neighborhood went to Hutch Tech. I went from having a black principal, I went from being like one of the star students that they kind of held me, hey, yeah, look, talk to Will, to being the, why are you here? It was a very interesting transition, but going to Hutch Tech actually prepared me for college because predominantly white institution. Had I jumped straight from like 53 in that type of environment into the collegiate environment that is predominantly white, I would have struggled. Hutch Tech, through all the adversity I dealt with at Hutch Tech, dealing with administration, I remember consciously or saying out loud, like, man, why are they always messing with me? It was that type of preparation that helped me make it through my experience in college at Alfred University. So everything is a lesson. So you asked me about school. That's a little bit about me. So what I need to know from you, you just came in. Hi, how you doing? McCutcheon? I know some McCutcheons. All right. I know a few of them. This is what I need y'all to do. So you're currently in high school now. Seniors? Graduated? All right, well, tell you what, we're going to do a check-in. So 1 to 5, 1 being 5 being excellent. Just give me your check-in number. Tell me, so you can say your name again. So check-in number, 1 to 5, how you feeling? All right, 1 is bad, 5 is awesome, anywhere in between if you feel like it. And one reason why you feeling like that. Your name, what grammar school you went to, so I can quietly judge you if you didn't go to 53. What high school? Okay, yeah, I'll take that. Name, check in at 1 to 5, how you feeling? What grammar school, what high school? Oh, and why you here today? Why you come? There you go. 5 things. Can y'all remember all those? Huh? Daphne, I know you can remember them. They can remember those things. Man, we ain't right. Don't make it easy for them. Name, 1 to 5 check-in, grammar school, high school, why you came today. All right? Who heart beating real fast? You want to go first just so because you in a hurry up and remember it? Bet. Go ahead.
My name is Ariana McCutcheon, and I went to Olmsted for middle school, and then for high school, I graduated from Hutch Tech. And I'm here today because I feel like this is a good opportunity for all of us, so why not,
Okay. Now, you missed the first part where everybody else said where they're working, so just add that in there.
I work at, and I'm going to work at M&T.
Okay. What you going to be doing at M&T, do you know?
Operations.
Do you know what that is?
They didn't teach me yet.
Okay, good answer. All right, who's next? Do you want me to run them again?
Okay.
Go ahead.
On a scale of 1 to 5,
Yep.
I feel
A 4?
a little tired.
A little tired?
I ain't a person.
Bruh.
My first name is Trey John. Trey.
Mm-hmm.
I went to 99.
Okay. Mikowski?
Yeah, Mikowski.
Okay.
I went to what's that school called? Houghton Academy.
Houghton, 69.
I went there for my 5th grade grade.
Yep.
And then Hutch Tech I graduated.
Okay, Hutch Tech. All right. Tech high, Tech high. Even though they try to kick me out every year, just saying. All right. Why you here?
And I'm here because, well, this is an opportunity.
Okay. I hear you. I hear you. Okay, I'm not going to keep pointing people out. Come on, y'all. Let's run this thing. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go next. Come on, y'all. You don't have to raise your hand. Just go.
My name is Lou. I like Lou better.
Mm-hmm.
1 through 5, I would be
4. Why?
I don't think I had time to exercise today.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Jason Barber as my elementary,
Where?
Jason Barber as my
Oh, okay.
and then Doris Fitzgerald, that's also North Carolina at my middle school. And then I went to Riverside Academy High School for my graduate. And then I'm here to choose. I'm here to
Really? You don't know why you're here? Somebody just
no,
said go.
no, it's a good opportunity, and also to see if I like it or not. To see if it will help me, if I will advance in this career path.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Thank you. Next. Come on, y'all.
My name is Jungkook, and out of 1 to 5. And for elementary school, I used to live in New York City before, so PS 60 elementary school, and middle school Castleville, and high school Bargard High School. Yeah. And I'm here because I don't want to miss this opportunity,
Okay. All right.
and I'm really excited, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right, cool. Come on, y'all. Run them. Let's go. Let's go. Don't raise your hand. Just go.
My name is Zakaya.
She said, give me the mic. Go ahead.
No, he said you could hold it. So okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
My name is Zakaya Torres. It's about a 3 because it's a Monday and it's cold. My grammar
Okay.
school, I went to 59 and then 89.
Mm-hmm.
And then for high school, I went to Berryard. And then I'm here because I just want to better myself with different opportunities and learning new things.
Okay. All right. Charles Drew and Lydia T. Wright.
Thank you.
And you didn't come to Saturday Academy? Charles Drew was one of my schools. Okay. About to say.
My name is Samaya Barsha, and today I'm feeling a 5 because I'm excited to be here. For middle school, I graduated from Susan B. Anthony, which is a middle school in New York City, and here I graduated from Burgard High School. Thank God. And today I'm excited.
Why are you here?
I'm excited to be here. So I'm hoping to learn more.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Next.
I go for a 4 because I made it here. I didn't
Speak
know I was
up. Speak up. Project.
For chicken, I go for a 4
4. Why?
because I didn't know I was going to make it here. I thought I was going to get lost. Something.
You thought you was going to get lost, but you made it and you're not lost, so you'll take a 4?
Okay.
I love it. Go ahead. What else?
For middle school, I went to school 53.
5-3.
For the high school, I went to Riverside. Stay with him.
Riverside.
And I'm here because it's a good opportunity to learn more about my job.
Okay, cool. Give it to my man right there. He the last one at the table.
My name's Damian Brown. You can call me DJ. Right now I'm feeling a 3
Mhm.
because I really overdressed.
Why you say you overdressed? No, you setting the standard, homie. You setting the standard.
Everyone looking comfortable.
You look comfortable too.
Nah, I'm not.
Okay, he said I'm not. Okay, and that's why you feel a 3 though?
Yeah,
I respect your
it would've
honesty.
been 4 just off that, but I gotta work after this, so
Oh,
that's a
okay.
big 3.
Okay.
Grammar school, I went to like every year before middle school. I went to like a different school, but before middle school, 5th grade, I won a raffle and got to go to a charter school. Way
What?
different. I saw white people for the first time.
Man, what charter school did you go to?
Elmwood Village.
Elmwood Village. Okay.
Yeah, for high school, I went to Hutch Tech, graduated.
Okay.
Why am I here? I'm here for the same reason I'm a 3. I don't want to work at McDonald's no more.
I heard that.
Real talk.
I heard that.
Nobody trying to work for the service.
Here, I got you. I'm telling you, so you know all the deep, dark secrets in McDonald's too, and could probably tell everybody here why not to eat there.
My name is Kiki Wallace. From 1 to 5, I'm at a 4. I'm just tired right now. I went to Southside and I graduated from Hush Tech, and I'm here because it's a chance to learn new things, new opportunities and such.
Okay. Tech High. Somebody at that table. Come on, y'all. Let's go. We down to the last ones. What you got?
My name is Zamani Johnson. About 1 to 5, I'm at a 3. I forgot to lock my car door. I went to for middle school. I went to Harvey Austin for like the first 5 years, and then I graduated from Discovery School 67, and then I went to Tech, graduated from there. And I'm here today because I'm looking for a career, not a job. So.
Okay. Thank you.
What is it? I'm Michaela Mercado. I'm like 4 right now. I mean, I'm feeling like jittery inside, but like I'm chilling. I went to Grab Yards and then CSAT and then Hutch Tech, and I'm here because this is what I'm going with. This is what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll take that.
Hello, my name is Saeed Juma. I went to Waterfront for middle school, and I went to MSC high school, and it's a good opportunity to be here.
Okay. 1 to 5. 4. Why? Tired? Okay. He couldn't wait to get rid of that mic. He like, man, get this thing away from me.
My name's Lillian Bodwin. I don't want a 5, I'm a 3. I'm pretty neutral.
Mm-hmm.
I went to 43, then SBCS.
Lovejoy. SPCS.
South Buffalo Charter.
Ah, okay.
And then I went to MST. And I'm here because my apprenticeship correlates with the job I want in the future and what I'm majoring in college.
She dropping them SAT words on y'all. Bruh, man, no. You thought you was gonna give it away, huh? Nope. Last one, bring us home.
I am a 5.
A 5?
All
right.
Because I wasn't expecting this.
You wasn't what do you mean?
Like other people to be involved.
Oh, okay.
The grammar school that I went to was School 45, and the high school
International school.
Was South Park.
Okay.
And I'm here I don't know why I'm here for.
You don't know why you're here?
I'm here for the
existentially, or why you here at this moment?
Like what I'm gonna do.
Okay. You're gonna find out in a minute. All right, thank you. You could pass the mic to Mr. Jamil. All right, so thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. So now we know a little bit about each other, so it makes the process a little bit better. It took some time, but I got to do that. I got to start out with get to know me, let me know you, and now we can kind of go on this journey. All right? So I'm here to talk about time management. The way I thought about it, though, was like, yeah, I could give you the stuff that you could Google, like I did, that you could Google and just look it up. But I also wanted to add a little bit more to it because in my experience as an educator, one of the things that I think set me apart from other teachers is I always try to individualize education because everybody's different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has different learning styles. Everybody has different likes, dislikes. You know what I'm saying? So to me, you can get general information, but it's not going to really do anything for you if you don't figure out how to personalize that information. Does that make sense? So we're going to do a little bit of that today. And then I'm not going to like bore you to death with me standing here and talking at you. I want to do an activity, but I need your involvement. Okay? So you ever go to a concert? Who ever been to a concert? Raise your hand. Put the hand up there. It must have been a whack concert. It's like, was it a good concert? So y'all never been to a concert at the back table? Can we please get these kids to a concert? Please. Okay, so I've been to a concert. All right. So when you go to a concert, huh? Hey, man, whatever. How many of y'all? They left you. They left you in the hotel room with a cell phone and a tablet. That's kind of messed up, but so you was near the concert, you just couldn't go. Well, I respect your honesty. All right, so eventually when you guys do go to a concert, Don't be the person at the concert not doing nothing. Like, concerts are better when the crowd participates. Yeah. You know, and most artists, a true artist, I'm going to tell you a secret. If you go to a concert and the artist is trying to pump the crowd up and the crowd don't respond, you get in a whack show. They be like, oh, they ain't live. I'm going to just get them the regular, you know, hey, y'all sing the song, couple claps, and then they out early. But if the crowd get into it, you start singing the music with the artist, man, they getting that energy. It's a whole symbiotic experience, right? You getting it back and forth. Same thing with facilitation, presentations. If you sleep, I'm going to go to sleep. If y'all whack, I'm going to be whack. I'm going to just start reading off the PowerPoint, okay? So what I need you to do, that's why we do the warm-up. That's why we get to know each other. What I need you to do is call and respond. When I ask you something, yo, somebody be ready. And I don't want to have to be like, you. No, just go. Just do it, right? Y'all seniors now. Somebody said it. Do we got to raise our hand? Because in college, yo, man, speak up. That's my college class. I teach you on college level. Speak up. I'm not. Got to go to the bathroom, just go. You know what I'm saying? So call and response. Give me the energy back. It'll go much better. It'll go much faster. Any questions? No? All right, here we go. Let's jump into it. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about time management. What are the strategies? Time management. What are the tools? Know thyself. Who are you as a worker? Work culture. How your workplace impacts your work pace. I made that up. All right, quick question for y'all. A lot of Hutch Tech graduates. Let's see if it made a difference. I'm just saying, I graduated from Hutch Tech. The first one is strategies. The second one is tools. What's the difference between a strategy and a tool? Okay, you got your hand up first.
Okay, a strategy is something that you build like a plan. You make a plan as a strategy.
Okay.
A tool is something you use.
Right. Okay.
A watch would be a tool.
Okay. Anybody want to add something to that? Ooh, okay, I like the connectivity there. You both right. Anybody else want to add something? You want to add something? No? You agree? We agree with them? Probably, because I said, ooh, so you're probably going to agree. I gave it up. All right, so exactly. So on one level, you got a strategy, a plan, and then on another level, you're going to have the tools to execute the plan, to execute the strategy, okay? So strategy, we formulate the plan. Tools is what we use to execute the plan, right? All right. Time management strategies. First thing you need to do, create a routine. So even though I had y'all tell me your name in the beginning, personal tidbit about me, I'm terrible with names. I do not remember names. I remember faces. I remember your face forever until you get older, start growing hair on your face, or change in other ways, okay? So I'm not going to remember your name, but young man, what did you say you missed out on this morning? You remember? Exercising, right? That's a part of the routine. So, and it's something important about that, right? So we're talking about work or school. This fits. Your routine, you can't think about time management and compartmentalize it just for work, right? Your routine, time management, what you do for work, starts the moment you open your eyes that day, okay? So I'm like him. I like to work out in the morning. It energizes me for the day. I had to be here at 9, so I didn't work out this morning. So I like to work out in the morning, but not too early, okay? But that's a part of his routine, because when you do that, you know what to expect. When I work out in the morning, I know my energy level is going to be up. When I work out in the morning, it relieves stress, and it gives me time to think about my day, all right? Remember that. So another thing you do, anybody else got something that they have to do every morning to get the day started? Go ahead. You like to dance in the morning?
At least like 25 minutes.
Man, you having a whole party. So music and all that? Headphones music or stereo music?
No,
Speaker? Okay, I hope y'all got thick walls. She did. I mean, she said she liked to do it every morning.
You gotta get here.
Yeah.
Make you move slower if you don't have if you're not already upbeat, then you're just gonna move slower.
Are you getting the audio for them when they answer these questions? Do you want me to stand near them, maybe to Michael? Yeah, that's gonna be kind of cumbersome. I can stand near them when they talk, I guess. Okay. Anybody else have a morning routine?
I mean, back when I was in high school, something I wouldn't do is eat breakfast because I thought, oh, who eats breakfast? You can have lunch at 11, right? But after high school, I started eating breakfast in the morning. Nowadays, I feel more energized. So definitely, I'm gonna add having breakfast every day.
Okay. All right. So exercise, dance, breakfast. Okay. I'm not a breakfast person because I get the itis. I can't eat breakfast. So I'd rather work out, get my black coffee, and I keep it moving until 1. That's a part of my strategy. Go ahead.
Press snooze on your alarm. You get a little bit more.
Y'all heard what she said? Press snooze. But hold on. Hold on, though. Hold on. Because, they did make it. They made a snooze button.
Yeah, wake you back up in 9 minutes.
They made it. So that could be a part of your strategy. Now, do you have a deadline? So I got a number of snoozes that I can hit, right? So honestly, I usually wake up before my alarm goes off, but I used to be one of those people that I had to get ready alarm. Get ready because you're about to have to get up alarm. I'm not quite there yet alarm. And then the final get up or you're going to be late alarm. That was me. But that's still a strategy, right? So you can incorporate that as a part of your strategy. And this is the individualized thing I was talking about. You got to know who you are. Go ahead.
That's my routine.
What?
I have 3 alarms.
You got 3 alarms?
Yeah. I wake up and then I go to sleep again and then I have the 3rd alarm to wake up.
Okay. So some of these things might change because you know what I realized? That little fake sleep you getting in between snooze ain't really sleep.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm not going to debate you. But for me, it's man, that's a fake snooze. I'm not really getting no sleep. Because it seems like just when you get right, drive me crazy. All right. So create the routine, whether it's exercise, whether it's dance, whether it's hitting snooze 3 times. But you know what that means? If it's a routine, there's a limit, right? You know that if I want to exercise, I have to get up at such and such a time. And I got this amount of time to exercise. And I need to be done by this time. Because I'm assuming after you exercise, you're hitting your hot spots, right? You're making sure you go to work fresh. I'm assuming dance routine can't overlap with anything else. If you get up too late, you can't do the dance routine, right? And what's that going to do to your day? It's going to throw it off. You said you got 3 alarms. You skipped the 3rd alarm. What's that do to your day? You're going to be tired. But also psychologically, right? So we're creatures of habit. We like consistency. When you break your habits and that consistency, it throws you off. It can throw you off for the rest of the day. So the key thing is same thing every day so you can show up for your best, as your best. Set reminders, deadlines for tasks, and we'll talk about this a little bit more when we get to the next one with tools. But when we talk about alarms, yes, I think the first picture on the PowerPoint was a guy holding his cell phone. How many people have a smartphone? Raise your hand. Y'all the worst hand raisers I ever seen in my life. Okay? So it's really no excuse not to have reminders set for important things. Cell phone, come on, man. We walking around with high-powered computers in our pockets. You can set your whole schedule up on your phone. Important information, you should never miss a birthday. Yeah, I know, I do. Yes, thank God for Facebook. Nobody would get a happy birthday except for my mother and my sisters and my kids. All right. Have a plan for the year, month, week, day. it takes some time to get this organized. So I'm going to keep it 100. I wasn't create a routine guy. I wasn't set reminders or deadlines guy. I wasn't have a plan for the year, month, week, and day. But I told you about my professional trajectory, right? I told you about where I started to where I am now. Until I got those things, I was not prepared to be a regional office director or the director for the Center for Urban Education or running my own consulting business. So here it is. If you don't want to do these things, that's cool. And you know, some of y'all bright. Some of you got skills and abilities. But if you're trying to maximize your potential, if you're trying to see how far you could really go, you gotta set these things up. You'll never know how far you could really go until you start plotting and planning your strategy for how far you think you can go. You follow me on that? So, yeah, 18, 19, right? 18, 19, somewhere around there. That's how old you are? I'm asking you to do a lot at 18, 19, because me at 18, 19, I would have missed this joint. You want to get a leg up on everybody else? Slowly start to implement these things. Have a plan for the year, the month, the week, the day. Maybe you just start with, I don't know about the year, but I can start with the day. I know on Sundays, I know Aaron, Shady, Johanna, Daphne, Jamil. Sunday, what we do right before Monday? What's the first thing we doing? Not the first thing, huh? Checking my calendar. No, because probably after church. You got to get the strength and the armor of God to look at that calendar. But I know everybody that I know that's a professional and that's handling business, everybody kind of had that conversation. Yo, you check your calendar yet, man? No, not yet. I don't want to look at it. But everybody, the first thing they do, not the first thing they do, but in relation to work for the week, the day before, I'm checking my Monday calendar to see what my day is like. I might already know, but I just need to be sure. Okay? So if you're not using that tool, that's something you can start right now. Start putting little important dates in there and watch how much of a change it makes for you. Place time limits on your task. This is an important one. And some of this stuff is based on where you work, and we're going to cover that, and what you do at work. My job, with so many different things that I do and so much information coming from different directions, I have to be the one to place a time limit on a task. But what that means is I got to know how long it takes me to do certain things, okay? You can't place a time limit arbitrarily. You have to place the time limit based on how you get things done, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you straight up. Don't be looking over the shoulder of somebody else saying, man, they finished that in 10 minutes. I'm only halfway through. No, it's about you and how you do it, because they may have finished it in 10 minutes, but they didn't get 100%. You need to work at your own pace. You can't worry about how other people work, how long it takes them to complete tasks. You just need to know for yourself how long you think it takes you to complete specific tasks. You follow me? So it's an individualized thing. You set those time limits based on your skills and ability. But guess what? If you're not doing the work, do you know the limits of your skills and ability? No. You got to do the work. You got to put into practice. If you're not specifically a fast reader and you know you have to read a lot of information to do your work, you schedule more time to read. It's that. If somebody else says, I only scheduled 30 minutes, don't get nervous. Don't get upset. Schedule your hour and a half, whatever, and figure out where you make the time up, where this other person got to struggle and, going to have to do something that takes longer in another time period. All right? This is important, especially for you guys as teenagers, because Lord knows. Set boundaries and block out distractions. This is a hard one, yo. This is a hard one. Because you got your friends, you got your family, you got your responsibilities, and everybody's asking you for something, or everybody needs you for something, right? And sometimes you feel obligated. Sometimes you absolutely obligated. But that means you just got to prioritize. And I tell people this when I was working as a teacher and I would be in school and I would tell my students like, yo, do you really want the best part of your life to be when you were in high school and somebody was taking care of you? Like, think about that. And we know people like that, right? We know people who the best part of their life that they can remember is when they lived in somebody else's house. When somebody else was taking care of all their wants and needs, right? Huh? You miss those days? I miss them too, but kids get taken care of. Babies. What they say? God watches over babies and fools. I ain't no baby and I ain't no fool. So I'm trying to take care of the babies and the foolish, right? So set those boundaries. And I think people respect you better when you tell them exactly what you're trying to do. And that'll tell you if they need to be in your circle. If you say, hey, listen, I can't do that. I have this project to do. I can't do that because I need to knock out A, B, C, D, E, F, right? Right there, their response is going to tell you, do they really deserve a spot in your life? Because if they deserve a spot in your life, they're going to encourage, oh, my bad. You know what? Go ahead. Even better, anything I can do to help? That's who you roll with. The one who says, oh, man, don't worry about that. It'll get done. How? Who going to do it? You? No. That's how you know who needs to be in the circle. The people who encourage you. Y'all here today, right now, what percentage of people in your community, in your neighborhood, in Buffalo, your age, is getting up right now looking for an opportunity? Because the majority of you said opportunity, right? How many of y'all believe in luck? You can believe in luck. You believe in luck? I believe in luck.
I don't believe in luck. I believe in hard work.
Okay. I'm going to tell you when I believe in luck. Luck is when timing and preparation meet. You get an opportunity. If you're not prepared, if you're not in the right place at the right time and haven't done what you need to do to take advantage of the situation, you unlucky. Luck is when timing and preparation meet. And that means you prepared for the time, for the opportunity to come, so you could take advantage of it. All right? Majority of people, opportunity walk past them every day, but they can't recognize it because they're not setting boundaries. They're not blocking out distractions. You got to be looking for the opportunities. You got to be looking for the opportunities, and they're everywhere. In the news, in the things that people talk about, in social media. The life you want to make, all the breadcrumbs to guide you to it exist out here. But if you only looking to have fun and party, that's what you're going to find, the party. And the parties get kind of whack. Whew, excuse me. And the parties get kind of whack when you my age and you stuck in Buffalo. The real parties is outside of Buffalo. Sorry. All right. That takes bravery. All this takes bravery, right? You got to have the will and the desire to make it happen, and you can't worry about what other folks is doing. That's how you're going to set yourself apart from everybody else. Okay? Excuse me. Oh, multitasking, the great deception. How many people out here say, oh, I'm multitasking. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I'm doing that. That's a myth. It's a myth. Multitasking is a myth, okay? Your brain, now don't get me wrong, unless you're a multi-level genius, and even multi-level geniuses, the way your brain works, you cannot simultaneously pay 100% attention to more than one thing at a time. You can't. There have been studies. I actually wanted to download the video. It's a psychology video. And the guy was talking about how the brain works. And it was funny because they had two people stand in the room in a circle of other people. You could probably find the video if you look for it. I don't know what the name of it is. And he said, okay, You two people in the circle throw the ball across from each other, big beach ball. So they throw in the ball. And then the people in the circle outside started to walk past them, walk in between them, all these different things. And then the guy at the time, when they got done throwing the ball, he asked them, so while you were throwing the ball, what else did you notice? Very rarely did they even notice people walking in between or how many people walked in between because they focused on throwing the ball. Like, your brain does not work that way. So you can multitask if you want to, but if you want to be great, set your schedule up and give the appropriate attention to your task for the time that you set for that task. All these things go together. All these things go together so we can avoid doing this. Thinking that you being productive with all these things going on and you're not. Start the routine. Set reminders and deadlines for tasks. Have a plan for the year, month, week, day. I told y'all I'll start with at least a day for y'all because, y'all building it up. Place time limits on the task. And when it's over, it's over. That's a hard one for me because once I get warmed up, I want to keep going. But keep in mind, I got all these other things to do. And then eventually that's going to creep in your subconscious, taking you here. Set boundaries, block out distractions, be brave. Tell them folks to go ahead. Tell them that's not that important right now, but when I get a chance, I'll help you out. And multitasking, don't fool yourself. You're not answering emails and on a Zoom call, paying attention to both at the same time. You're not fully invested in the meeting while you're answering emails. Don't play yourself. In the meeting, be focused. Because I'm going to tell you, when you talk about people who reach the upper echelon of work, those people who become the directors and the CEOs and all that, they present in the meetings. Present, meaning they're not looking at their phone, they're not talking and having offhanded conversations. They're present in the meeting, and when they speak, it matters. They might not speak for this whole 60 minutes, but in the 30 seconds that they respond, everybody's like, whoa, they really paid attention to everything. You got to be present, okay? Hopefully these things get you there. Any questions? No? You sure? Not one question. I was that good. I was that good. Or y'all that sleep. My man over here, he falling asleep. Yes?
I have a question. This is something I had to learn. What do you do when you have a task that you need to get done, but yet you still have questions or you're not quite sure how to go about it? How do you manage that and still?
Can you hold on to that? Because I think we're going to cover that. Okay. Yep, we're going to cover that. Yep. Okay. So hold on to that question. All right. So we talked about the strategies, right? And we had this discussion what a strategy is. That's your mindset, how you're going to approach the work. Now, how do we implement the strategies? These are the tools. Got to have a calendar. Everybody in here talked about a calendar. So just the adults in the room, how many of y'all have your calendar on the phone that you use every day?
I consider myself an adult.
Just the adults over 20. Gotcha. Right? How many times do you look at your calendar a day, adults over 20? Man, right? I couldn't tell you. I look at it enough to know that I'm not missing something. What happens when you don't put a meeting on your calendar? It's a wrap. I'm going to give y'all an extra tidbit. So listen, I'm going to give you an extra tidbit. If you really want people you work with to love you, don't ever send a calendar invite. Don't ever in the email say, oh yeah, we're going to meet on a date at such time. Because if that joint is not a calendar invite, I ain't seeing it. I thought that was free time. Like, oh, it's not on my calendar. So if you want everybody to love you in your job, your new job you're going to, and you have to meet or somebody you know has to meet, don't send an email with the details. Create the calendar invite. Okay? Takes time. Excuse me. All right. This will probably be the quickest one because it's just so much stuff out there. So they got note-taking software. I could take notes on my phone with the stylus. There are things that I think my executive director has a notepad with a QR code. Yep, that she can write her notes out, scan the QR code, it instantly takes a picture of it, and it instantly sends the information to her computer. There are so many tools that you can use, but it all depends on, number one, are you going to use the tool? Okay? Number two, is it a tool that suits your style? Okay? And we'll talk about that. Time trackers, reminders on your phone. You can set mini alarms. There are other time trackers with project management apps. So they got specialized time management apps, project management apps. I think this is a big one right here. This has been really helpful for me. And I heard you guys, some of you guys talking about the work that you're going to be doing over the summer. You know, some of it is entry-level work, right? But if you want to make yourself stand out, take advantage of some of the technological tools that people use to do work. Find a way to implement it in your work, because people will take notice of that. Okay? Yes?
I was going to say that on some devices, you can talk your notes.
Mm-hmm.
And I use that all the time because it's amazing.
Yeah, my big thing, digital meetings, virtual meetings, I record them. Because so often, what's not on the agenda and what comes through in organic conversation is gold, is gold. Like, how many times y'all sitting talking with your friends, you're like, man, I wish I remember what such and such said because that was really important, you know? Same thing happens in business. Yo, I'm telling you, every Zoom meeting and people they're like, why are you recording a meeting? Because we're going to say something profound and I want to make sure we capture it. So use the technology. I think that's another piece of the bravery thing. Like, people are, why are you always recording the meetings? I tell them, because, I think organically. I might have something written down, but through our interaction and discussion, something great comes up, and it's an idea that could change how we do the work. Capture, capture, capture. No wasted moments. I played sports, and I played football, and my coach used to always be like, no wasted steps. Every step should have a purpose. Every step you make should have a purpose. So when you're in the meetings and you're just kicking it, that's when great ideas come. Be prepared to capture that. Anybody in here, what type of technology you use now to organize your life? What's your favorite app? Anyone? Give me your favorite app, no matter what you think it is, and I'll tell you how it could be applicable to business. Go ahead. TikTok. Anybody want to share how TikTok could be applicable to business? It teaches you everything.
So, you could look on there to find other apps that you could use to do your notes or to save time and tricks and hacks and all type of stuff like that.
Yep, most definitely. You could look on there for time management apps, right? What else? TikTok. Everybody got a TikTok? I don't have a TikTok. Sorry, yo. I ain't got enough time to TikTok. I'm going to get there, though. I'm going to get me a TikTok. I'm going to tell you why I'm going to get a TikTok. Because, global pandemic, COVID. Instead of them trying to take the classroom and drop it inside your living room, why didn't we use the technology to figure out what space you have available in your day with an adult or with a caring adult or with an older brother or sister, and we could just do it all based off TikTok. Like, hey, this is the material. Give me something on TikTok. Let me see it. So I was that type of teacher. We used to do science, raps, all that. So outside the box thinking. All right. Any other tools y'all like? Y'all favorite tool? My man. Google Calendar? Yeah, me too. Our whole work, my whole job is all Google stuff. I love the Google stuff.
My job, they automatically send my schedule to the calendar.
So you got to check it, or you missing the bread, and you'll get fired. What else? One more. From somebody we haven't heard. No? Going once? Going twice? No? All right. I ain't going to hold it against you. That's all right. We're going to do an activity. Y'all going to have to do stuff. Next. Any questions about those? No? We good? All right. Work culture. How your workplace impacts your work pace. So I done worked with a bunch of people in here. Let me see. Aaron, Shar, Daphne, Johanna, Chady, Stephanie. Would I come by your desk and talk? Yep, that's me. I gotta like this. I gotta like my job. I gotta come and kick it with people. I just gotta do it because I cannot. My brain it goes all over the place, and I know that. I know that my brain at some point in the day is gonna be like, look, bruh, we taking a break. Like, I don't know if you want to take a break, but we taking a break. So what I had to do was look at my routine, look at my schedule, and say, okay, I'm going to work this amount of time on these things, but then we get to go take a break. And part of that break is I'm going to go kick it with my coworkers. But a lot of times when I come and kick it with y'all paying attention over there? When I come kick it with y'all, was the information relevant to work? Most definitely. Was the information relevant to building a cohesive team? Most definitely. So I wouldn't be coming in and talking about the basketball game, mostly because they didn't like basketball. But, and football. I got to talk about football. But I could kind of keep it on the rails, and I wouldn't be up in there chilling because even though I'd like to, I know they have work to do too. But I had to get my fix in. So I just built that into my schedule. And they was pretty cool people. So I could learn from them. They could learn from me. We enjoy doing the work. We building off of the work. Work does not have to be boring. It does not have to be boring. I'll be honest with you. I don't think I've ever had a boring job. The ones that I did that were boring, I left quickly. I'm serious. All right. So what's the setup? How is the workplace organized? Are you in a cubicle? Are you in an open space with a lot of people moving around? Like, how is it set up? Because depending on how you best operate, that workplace setup could be a deterrent to you getting your work done. Okay? So you got to pay special attention to that. Some of that stuff is out of your control. You can't be like, hey, boss, I know this is my first day, but where you got my desk, I ain't feeling that. You need to move my desk over there because that's not going to work. So you need to figure out what you need to set up, what you need to bring so that you can get the work done in your space, right? You can't get to the time management if the space does not feel comfortable, okay? Me, I don't like clutter. I can't work with clutter because it's a distraction. Now, what I consider clutter and what other people consider clutter is probably two different things, but I don't like clutter, all right? So you got to figure out the setup and what works best from you. Friendly spaces versus danger zones. All right? So I like to talk. My buddy likes to talk. And their desk is on the other side. And every time I go to his desk, I'm there for like an hour and a half. Ain't did nothing. We definitely talking about the basketball game, the football game, nothing work related. I need to avoid him. Okay? That's a danger zone. That's a black hole. I go over there, I'm getting sucked into the black hole. I'm forgetting about work. We kicking it about all the good stuff that I want to kick it about. I'm not doing nothing. Danger zone. Don't go there. All right? What are your danger zones? What are the spaces you need to avoid? What are the friendly spaces that you can go to, interact, do what you need to do, and get back to work? You need to map those out. It's not about self-control. I guess it is. It's natural. As humans, we want to socialize, all right? You need to figure out what the danger zones are and what are the safe, friendly spaces. Water flows downhill. If this was an adult group, I had a different quote. But water flows downhill. Anybody want to take a stab at what that means?
It's like the graph, right? Where you could start high, but as you go down into you just sink
Nah, that's cool. That's cool.
I understand what you're saying. I get you, Rep. I get like what
Yeah, water flows downhill, right? Yeah, gravity gonna pull water down. But think about it like this, right? If you got fresh water flowing from the top, but at the bottom is polluted, how do you fix that problem? You take care of the pollution at the bottom, right? You can stop it from spreading. If the water's polluted at the top, what happens to all the water that subsequently falls from the top? It's all polluted. So if it was just polluted at the bottom, it was that one little section, one little area that got tainted. But if it's polluted from the top, man, your whole system is messed up. This is another piece that speaks to bravery. Sometimes what you'll find is that the way the organization, the business, the operation works is polluted at the top. It's polluted at the top. And you down here at the bottom or in the mid-level and all this water is falling on your head and it's nasty, it's got sewage in it, you're getting sick, right? So you need to figure out, how do I deal with the source of pollution? How do I mitigate the water that's coming down on me? How do I stop it from affecting my work? Okay? Now, this is high-level stuff. This is not, for the weak. I'm assuming that you guys want to achieve high levels. If you can master that, dealing with an infected, polluted work source coming from the top, and figure out how to navigate that system and make it better for yourself so you can still be productive, so you can still cancel out the distractions and get to the work that you need to do, listen, there's no stopping you. It's no stopping you. It's one thing to complain and be like, yo, the water's polluted up there, man. What are they doing? I can't believe that. And every day you coming in talking about how bad the water is. It's another thing to come in and be strategic about how you approach your work and how you deal with that pollution. Okay? Is it hard? Most definitely. Is it stressful? Yes. But one thing I learned is no moment in time lasts forever. If you figure out how to effectively deal with workplace culture to get what you need to get done, you're going to shoot to the top. You're going to shoot to the top. So I'm not one of those people that's going to tell you, you're going to walk into every space. Some of you'll find out in these internships. Some of you are going to find out in these internships like, man, this is, this is terrible. How long is the internship? 3 years. 3 years? Okay. 3 years compared to the rest of your professional future. All right? Now, what I'm not saying, sometimes it's hard to code switch. I'm not saying to take stuff from other people. But what I'm saying is make sure you explore your options and be strategic about how you deal with problems. Okay? Be strategic. And what I've found is a lot of times communication is key. Communication is key. It's easier to go to my buddy in the cubicle over there and complain about the polluted water from the top. It's easy to do that. What's difficult is to say, you know what? I got to have a conversation with this person. I got to tell them exactly what's bothering me in a way that they hear me so we can identify a solution. Okay? Now, for a lot of you, we know that in the workplace, you're not going to see a lot of people who look like you. For a lot of you, you're not going to deal with a lot of people from places that you're from. So you have to navigate that, their perception of you, but also figure out how you can communicate in a way that they hear you and can't stereotype you. And for that lesson, $500. No, I'm just playing. But that's something to think about. All right. Workload, an inconvenient truth. So we talked about emails. We talked about all this technology. We talked about all these tools, right? Let me see. Back in the 50s, I'm running a company, and I want to talk to all my employees. How did that happen? Huh? A hall meeting, right? No email. I could send a letter, had a secretary, or executive assistant, draft me a letter. She got to draft a letter and send it out to every individual. Then they got to respond back. Like, no. So here's the thing. This is a question that I raise a lot. Has technology made the work more efficient or less efficient? It's kind of a rhetorical question.
I feel like less, because a lot of people do less because they have to do less. They don't have to do as much. You don't have to rowdy up all the people in the company now. Now I could just type something on my phone and send it out.
Yep.
So now you're more likely to make more mistakes because you're not as more focused. You can just do it quickly again.
Well, remember what we said, multitasking, right? So now instead of the boss in the 50s where I got to hold a town hall meeting to spread the message, now 11:30 at night, I'm like, oh man, I forgot to tell them, send. They got the email 11:30 at night because I had a whim. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah. Somebody, go ahead.
I feel like it could be like either or. It depends on the situation. Because the meeting could be about showing them something that's hands-on that they need to see, or it could be just about telling them something new information.
So that's a great point, right? Because some people, an email won't do it, right? Some people need to hear it directly because that's how they take in information. We'll talk about that in the next one. That's how they take in information. So some people gonna get the email, whatever, and keep it moving. Go ahead.
More efficient, but it takes less effort.
I'd push back on that one.
You don't think it takes for me to have to write out a letter compared to me having to type it out? It's a lot less effort than typing.
Well, that's because you grew up typing. I'm a writer. I used to be like, blah, 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 blah. I would prefer writing over typing. But, that's individuals. So let me ask y'all this. Okay, adults, all adults. How many new work emails do you average a day?
Typically 50 to 60.
Mm-hmm.
Typically.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? I'm about a 50 to 60, but it fluctuates. Yeah. I could get a day where I get like 75 to 100 emails, especially if it's around a certain topic and I need people to get back to me. Yep. And then that's the reply all email, the individual reply email, the mistake email that got sent that don't say nothing. Right? So is that efficient? No. But we got to deal with it, right? So what I got adept at is kind of categorizing emails, setting up a day and time to work on emails. So my thing is, first thing in the morning, check emails, prioritize. If it's a high priority email, I'm getting to that early. And if it's an email that requires a lot of back and forth, I'm getting to that early because I know I'm probably going to come back to it later and have to continue to respond the rest of the day. I check emails 3 times a day. 3 times a day. Morning, midday, afternoon, probably 4 because I be cheating at night. Like, oh, let me check these emails. Probably not a good idea to do that. All right? That's just emails. That's just emails. So sometimes the workload is unrealistic. Now, remember I talked about the water flowing downhill and it's polluted from up top, so I got to address this somehow. I got to figure out a way to let the folks know, hey, this is affecting my work. That workload one is a real thing that you have to confront because I think it was Maya Angelou who said, y'all could Google it. She said, if you don't tell people when they mistreating you, they will say, not only did it not hurt you, but you liked it. I'm paraphrasing, right? So I'm telling you, and say yes is all about self-care, right? It is. I'll say this. I worked in a lot of places. And say yes when it comes to self-care and it really being something means something at say yes. So the leadership, when you come and say, yo, this is too much, I'm struggling, they find ways to help you. You have to be brave enough to say, this is too much. And you can't have this feeling of inferiority. You can't be like, yo, I can't do it because I'm not good enough. Like, if you have all these systems set up to maximize your time, to have a routine, to prioritize your work, if you're doing everything you need to do, sometimes you got to address workload with higher ups or colleagues. Sometimes it has to be addressed because it has to be a realistic expectation of how much work you can get done in a time that you can do it and the quality. So I forgot your name, Trey. That's my son name. You talked about it's faster to write an email. See, emails for me are tricky because I work with a large and diverse group of people. And I'm a black male, right? So, you battling a lot of different things. And I know that people judge you based on language. I was an English teacher, and I still think about how I structure an email, what I write in it. Is my punctuation correct, right? And I know when other people don't, I'll be like, ooh. So it takes me time to craft an appropriate response. And in not-for-profit, I believe everybody working in mid-level management and up should have an executive assistant because communication is so important. Listen, I swear, I think it's a thing. I really believe it's a thing because being able to craft a response to an email without it taking you an hour is a skill. You want them to be brief. I never want to do a big, long, giant paragraph email. Guess what? They're not reading it. If you can't say it in 4 to 5 sentences, you better call them. Okay? So you got to address workload. You got to look at your skills and ability. Your skills and ability to do the work, which gets us to the next slide. We good on time? Yep. Stephanie, did I get close to your question? I think this is where we answer it. Know thyself, who you are as a worker. When are you most productive? How many night owls we got in here? I am a night owl. Man, listen, get that window open, put the box fan in that joint, get it breezing through, light a couple candles, my favorite beverage. I'm going in. I'm going in. All is right, right? When are you most productive? Figure out when you're most productive. Schedule your work schedule around that time. The task that you could take care of, okay? But you got to know who you are as a worker. Just about everybody in here, we was looking like zombies coming up in this joint. I was like, oh man, why do we do this on Monday morning? Like, I hate Mondays mornings. My schedule, Mondays and Fridays, are all internal meetings. Meaning, on Monday and Friday, I'm not talking to anybody outside of my organization. I'm only talking to people inside of my organization. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is when I talk to everybody else. Okay? That's when I talk to everybody else. That's how I set my schedule up so I can be most productive. All right? You got to figure out those little tricks and tactics. So I'm here on the Monday, let y'all know y'all special. How do you best receive information and direction? Is this related to your question, Stephanie? Tell me your question again.
It's more so maybe you're getting some tasks you've never done them before. For me, I would try to figure it out on my own, but I just waste so much time sometimes. Rather than just asking clarifying questions or reaching out to someone who I know knows how to do it, to give me direction.
Listen, man. So that's key, right? You got to find your people. You got to find your people at any job. Find people you trust because nobody walks into a job knowing how to do everything. Okay? So I got some problems with workforce development and industry because I feel like, give me anybody and I will show you how to do a job and you'll be able to do it. I'm a fan of experience is the best teacher. I feel like, hey, if I put you in a $1 million position, over time, you're going to get real good at it as long as I give you structure and parameters. All right? But you got to lean on your network. You don't know everything. Find your people at the job. You can't have this fear of, I think I said it before, inferiority. We carry that a lot into our work because the educational system, the way the educational system is, it makes you feel like you can't do as much as other people sometimes. So I'm going to tell you, find your people at work. If it's something you don't know, ask for help. Ask for help. And if you ask them for help and they treat you bad, don't mess with them no more. Don't mess with them. How do you best receive information and direction? What type of learner are you? Somebody mentioned this earlier. Like some people are audible. You know, they can hear it and they can do it. My son was like that. He'll listen to a song 3-4 times. He know the whole song back and forth. I'm like, how do you do that? Because I can't do that. I need to see it written down. If I see it written down, I got it. But listening, okay? How do you best learn? Okay? You got to figure out how you best learn so that you can then communicate that at your job. Okay? Because when you tell folks, listen, we did this in the workshop or whatever, and I didn't get that part, this is the way I need that information, they respect you for it. That's how you move up, because they're like, oh, they interested in learning. They're not just falling asleep. I see a few of y'all falling asleep. We're going to take a break in a minute. What are your distractive triggers? I told you, my attention wanes. After a while, if I'm just sitting there, I start thinking about cartoons. I start thinking about what I'm going to eat for dinner, anything but the work. So then I got to get up and move around, okay? You got to figure out what those distractive triggers are. For some of you, it's your cell phone. I noticed a pattern lately too. I've been on my phone a lot. I'm like, okay, I got to shut that down. You got to figure out what your distractive triggers are and eliminate them. Why do I put things off? What is procrastination? Really? Anybody? What's procrastination? The definition? No? You was fake putting your hand up? Go ahead. Huh? You delay doing things, right? Anybody know why we do that? You don't want to. You might feel like you got time for it. What did y'all say back there, adults? Anxiety. Yeah. So I'm a procrastinator. But you know why? Because I know, and it's funny that I'm like this, I know once I lock into it, I don't pay attention to anything else. So that means all the other stuff I'm doing is getting no attention. So I try to push it back until I did everything else that I wanted to do. And now I have to do this thing that I have to do. And a part of it is I'm also a perfectionist. I told you about the emails. Emails is a big challenge for me because I'm a perfectionist. I want it to be perfect. I'm going to take a lot of time. And sometimes I don't have a lot of time. Same thing with procrastination, right? But I think there are a lot of different ways to overcome procrastination, but it depends on why you're procrastinating. For me, it's because I want to be perfect. So what I need to do, rough draft it. If I start with a rough draft and just get my ideas down, I can put it to the side for a minute and I'm spending less time crunching and putting it together because I already got that outline. But for you, you got to figure out, why am I procrastinating? Somebody say, because I just don't want to do it. Okay, sometimes that's it. But you got to do it so you can get paid. There you go. So you just got to figure out what's stopping you. Big one here. I'm coming back to it. How are you advocating for yourself? I really can't stress this more. I would suggest you got a great team of people here. And this thing here, I think as we all know, number one, it's tough advocating for yourself. Number two, sometimes self-advocacy can put people off. So it's a skill. It's a skill. You need to observe everything that's happening in the workplace. You need to see how your supervisor thinks, talks, reacts, treats other people, how they best like information, so that when you need to advocate, you could do it in a way that they can receive it. And I've said that before. The key thing is, what are your observational skills? How are you looking at what's happening so that when the time comes for you to advocate, it's not you just emotionally shouting out your feelings. You need to think about them, write them down, put them together, and then when the opportunity comes, explain it. All right? But you got to self-advocate, because I'm telling you, there's nothing worse, and you're probably going to experience this maybe even this summer. There's nothing worse than being in a place that you got to go to every day for 6, 7, 8 hours and being miserable. Nobody wants that. And you're not going to perform well on the job, and everybody will be able to tell, and you won't last long. So the goal is, how do I create a space in this place for me to operate at maximum efficiency? Any questions about that? Yes.
Okay, so considering like the last thing that you said about self-advocation, so okay,
Self-advocacy.
I'm so sorry, I have to start self-advocacy. So
Mm-hmm.
I work at Red Lobster, right?
Mm.
I work customer service, and my boss, he's pretty uppity, but we had a situation one time where it was like a customer versus me, and we were talking about what happens, what if, whatever. And considering self-advocacy, I had to advocate for myself. And with that being my second job, especially it being a social thing, that was the first time I ever felt like, wow, this sucks. So we get into it, and the customer basically saying things that I didn't say, and I'm just like saying to my manager, like, hey, man, I didn't do that, I didn't say that, I didn't confirm anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like an entire hour of just debate, and it got to the point where like I just felt miserable for the day. I just wanted to go home.
Mm-hmm.
And I see what you're saying by you gotta have that skill to create an environment where that you enjoy specifically. You know what I'm saying? So all in all, I feel that. I feel that. Really.
Mm-hmm. So I want to talk about that situation a little bit more, and then we could take a break, y'all. Because it's good to kind of discuss these things in real time with real situations, right? And that's a little bit of our activity. So there was an issue, a customer had an issue, right? And the customer, so did you kind of had a back and forth with the customer?
I didn't back and forth with nobody.
Okay, so hold on. Did the customer go to your supervisor in front of you, and did they bring you in? It was you, the customer, and the supervisor? And the supervisor, or excuse me, the customer was explaining to the supervisor something that happened from their point of view, and you said you didn't think it was true.
What happened was that, people get upset when they have to wait for things. So I'm like, hey, you gotta wait.
Impatient people.
Yeah, you gotta wait like a half an hour for your table.
Mm-hmm.
We're short staffed today.
Which usually happens, okay.
Yeah, things happen, and they're like, no, where's your manager?
Oh, okay.
He told me I have to wait an hour. I said half an hour.
Okay. So in that moment, when the customer said to your manager, he told me I got to wait an hour, what was your response?
I didn't say anything. That was literally, my face changed. I didn't say anything. And I felt so hard what you were saying about the emotional response because right then and there, I felt so wrong. So I tried to express it to him. And he
Whoa.
Exactly.
So you tried to express it to who?
My manager.
After the customer left?
Not even. We was
While the customer was there?
In the moment, man. So
Ah.
I'm like, hey, man, I didn't do that. That wasn't me. And so he was like telling me, he was like, Trey, you can't do this to the customer.
Mm-hmm. So hold on. So stop right there, though. Stop right there. You did good with it at first, right? No, but that's real stuff. So now we kind of going into the realm of emotional intelligence, but all this stuff really, I'm telling you, you're like, man, I thought this was time management. All this plays into time management and scheduling. So, because here's the thing, and we're going to try to simulate this in the activity. When you're not aware of your schedule, when you're not aware what you got to do, it affects your emotional state. And when you're dealing with people, the way you have an advantage is to be aware of your emotional state, not be hurried, not be bothered, and be ready. So what you do is, what you don't want to happen is to have your supervisor feel like it's a power struggle. The customer want to talk to the supervisor, let them talk. If you got to be there, be there. I wouldn't even want to be there because I don't care what the customer says. I know exactly what happened, So even in the midst of the customer lying on you or saying this information, when you confident and you truthful, you never feel the need like, oh, no, that ain't it. Man, you just sit back like, okay.
I feel that so hard because how I am is like I'm a real big defensive person. Like I don't mess up often. So when I do,
You don't?
I feel like I don't.
You a bad boy.
So when
I mess up all the time.
When I gotta do the fixes, what's going on? What's happening? So when I'm basically called out for something I didn't do wrong, I'm just like.
I hate to tell you this. You're going to get called out for something you didn't do about 1 billion times between now and when you die. So it's never the situation. What can you control? Your response. And you take control of the situation by your response. The customer is emotional. It sounds like the supervisor got a little emotional because you joined it, because it became a power struggle. Because the supervisors don't want the customer to think that the employee's running the show. So you got to play that game. Give them their power in the moment, and you claim your power by calmly stating exactly what happened. Done. Keep moving to the next one. Because if you get mad at every customer that come in that got a problem, you ain't gonna last in that job too long, you know? So this is what the scheduling is all about. The scheduling is so you can master your workday, and when those things happen, you're not worried about it because you know you're taking care of everything. You know, am I making sense to y'all? Like a schedule gives you peace. You know what your day is. You know what you can generally expect. Okay? And when those types of situations come up, because you're confident in everything you've done already, it's easier not to be emotional. Okay? All right, so let's take a break. Y'all did a good job, kinda. Nobody fell asleep. We're gonna do one more activity. That's my email. Email if you want. I'm big on mentoring. I'm big on paying it forward. I had people who mentored me, and it was extremely crucial to my development. I had mentors when I was first starting teaching at 23 and 24, and it changed my life. Made me a better father, a better human being. So if you need me, hit me with an email. Might take me a minute to get there, but I will respond. Okay? So let's take a quick break. Stand up, stretch your legs out. Let's get back rolling. Let me see. I don't know if that clock is right. Yeah, 5 minutes. So 11:45. My phone says 11:39. Let's do 11:45.